All right, Madeline. You are doing a lot of things right now, I've noticed. What would you say, where's your driving passion right now?
I think to describe that, I need to tell you a story. My mother is a wonderful cook. I mean, she's really a good cook. Everybody wants to eat at her table. And I remember she was 76, and I asked her, "What are you doing, Mom?" And she said, "Well, I'm taking this course." I said, "What's the course on?" "Oh, it's a cooking course." And I said, "Mother, what do you need to cook? I don't do this. You're a fantastic cook." And she said, "Madeline, you can always learn." Well, you know, that was a perfect answer for the life that she has always led and the life that she's led me into. Because learning is, I'm always learning, just like she taught me to. So I think that what drives me very much is not just my passion for learning, but to help others to learn more effectively. And I think that's one of the things that pulled me into the work of story and narrative, because it is such a beautiful way to learn. You know, we can't learn anything unless it's in context. And a story provides context. So you may learn a little piece, but it's suddenly in context, and it makes it a deeper learning. So that's one of the things that definitely has drawn me into the story work that I do. More directly, I'm currently writing a book on how people can stay current and keep learning through their lives. Sometimes called lifelong learning. I don't call it that, but that's the idea. How do you make that happen, especially in this world today, where there's knowledge coming at you constantly? I mean, you can go into the internet and find all kinds of things, and sometimes it hits you. So how do you manage that, and how do you deal with it? How do you drink from a fire hose? That's the bottom line. So I'm exploring the stories of people, of how they've done it, and that's what the book is going to be about. And one of the things that I'm discovering is that in what they're just talking about is conversation keeps coming back into it. We learn as we are talking with others. In fact, I find sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, I will say something that I didn't even know I knew, but it was because the conversation drew it out of me. So that's another aspect of it, which has led me to kind of combine those two things. I also moderate an international collaborative group with a colleague in Australia. And the two of us moderate this collaborative space on ning.com, and it's called Worldwide Story Work. And without advertising or anything, we have over 300 members now. And you can go in there and you can talk with any number of people on very specialized topics around story and narrative, or general topics around story and narrative. It's absolutely amazing. It's been so much fun. I mean, and we do have literally people from all over the world. Yeah, I mean, there's Australia, of course, there's New Zealand, there's Israel, there's just about every country in Europe is represented. We have India, China, everywhere that they can get onto the internet there. Ning.com, and of course the US. So that's another thing that I'm working on. In fact, next week I'll be going to Copenhagen to talk about story in work, you know, how you use story in the organizational setting. And there I'll be talking about a couple of things. One of them is called the 3 silent questions when you go into a group. I won't tell you what those are. You'll have to come and find out.
Oh no, that's terrible. 3 silent questions.
The 3 silent questions that stories actually answer. That's right. Well, I do that other places too. So that's
and a workshop in Washington, D.C.
Yes. We have a workshop on narrative practice. Paul Costello and I, we're co-directors of the Center for Narrative Studies there. And we offer, at this stage, we offer a class in introduction, which is called Living Stories, and then we do another one called, that's really narrative practice. It's around something called the Narrative Room, which really helps people learn how to listen in a totally new way to story. So it's not just telling stories, it's mining them and listening. Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Is there anything else that piques your curiosity?
More of an observation, because I met you at the airport, and you radiate dialogue. If that makes sense. You attract it to you. You give it. You exude it. Does that make sense?
I don't know what that is, but I've heard that before.
Okay.
So obviously that's part of my job here.
Well, I've been impressed with some of the comments here and the ideas that there's more meaning that is formed that goes between people than is said or written. And I think that's part of it. That's my guess.
Yes, yes.
That is it. It's out there. It's not words, it's not text, but
right.
it's there, it's working, it's changing.
That's right. And it's invisible to us now.
Yes.
And that's why we can't name it yet, because we can't see it.
Yes.
I think the more we talk about it, we're going to be able to see it, because we'll slowly articulate what that is.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, part of what social constructionism is all about.
And maybe it shouldn't have a name.
Maybe. Maybe. We don't know. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.